Caught on camera. An internal review underway following an officer's interaction with a panhandler.
I don't want to press charges for assault, but come on.
200 days and counting.
It's frustrating. We're hoping we can settle this either close agreement or negotiation. And we just want to get it done and over with.
Locked out workers acknowledge defeat. And thrust back into the spotlight.
I said, "Yo, what's going on?" Just while we're shooting a rap video.
An unexpected encounter thanks to social media.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We begin tonight with a CTV News exclusive. A video circulating on social media is raising questions over the conduct of a Windsor police officer. It appears to show him take a swing at a person's phone while they were being recorded. CTV's Sanjay Maru joining me now with the details. And Sanjay, we're learning this hour that police are looking into this incident.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. Windsor police confirmed they're reviewing a video recorded by a person experiencing homelessness that appears to show an officer striking or knocking the person's phone as they were being filmed.
People for money. Sorry, I'm just asking. Okay.
The video shared directly with CTV News by the man who recorded it shows part of this encounter between him and an officer in a grocery store parking lot on February 21st. At one point, the officer's hand can be seen moving toward the phone, which jolts out of frame. The man behind the video, Kevin Lasseline, tells us he was panhandling in the parking lot when police pulled up. Sources tell us he had been asked to leave by store management a few times, and when he failed to comply, police were called. We should note, however, the moments leading up to Lasseline's phone being swiped were not recorded. In a subsequent video provided to us, the officer is shown leaving the scene as he discloses his badge number and then says bye to Lasseline by name.
And I don't want to press charges for assault, but come on. To me, if I press charges, then we got to go to court. And it seems like, to me, it's just like cut to the chase. You'd ask the three cops themselves, like, what do you feel this was excessive force?
In a statement, Windsor police tell CTV News, quote, "We are aware of the video circulating and have initiated a review of the circumstances." We did ask Windsor Police Association President Kent Rice for an interview today. He tells me, however, he is waiting until the force releases more details about the circumstances surrounding the full interaction before making any comments about the video. Stephanie.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. Now, if you ever captured newsworthy video, something you think we should see, you can text us right to us. Just send it to 10400. Meantime, the police service saying a break-in investigation has led to drug trafficking charges. Windsor police say earlier this week, suspects cut through a fence and stole construction equipment from a business on Hawthorne Drive. Days later, 2 men were arrested, and police say officers found meth, fentanyl, and other suspected drugs, along with cash and packaging material. A stolen tool from the property was also recovered. Police are still searching for a third suspect. Chatham-Kent police have also made arrests after executing a search warrant near Thamesville. They say it's connected to 2 break-ins earlier this month at a business on Arnold Street in Waldesburg. Officers found a vehicle they believe was used in the crimes and arrested a man and a woman from Thamesville. Both are charged with break and enter and were held for a bail hearing with the investigation ongoing. And Essex County OPP confirming today a weapons call in Tecumseh led to a police pursuit and a 2-car crash. Essex County OPP say officers arrived at Aloha Drive Thursday afternoon when a white Ram pickup and black Dodge Challenger took off. Police briefly pursued before the 2 vehicles collided at Tecumseh and Les Bronze, disabling the Challenger. 2 people inside were arrested, but the Ram fled towards Windsor and has not been found. No one was hurt, and the Major Crimes Unit is now leading this investigation. Now, after more than 200 days on the picket line, locked out workers at Titan Tool and Die say they're no longer focused on returning to work, but on moving forward. Workers blocked several trucks from entering the plant this week, but now say they're hoping to negotiate a closure or severance agreement. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
After nearly 7 months locked out, frustration is giving way to acceptance outside Titan Tool. Many workers now say they believe the plant will close and they just want certainty.
It's frustrating for most of us. You know, it's just we're hoping we can settle this either close agreement or negotiation. And we just want to get it done and over with.
Roberto Cholak spent 40 years at the plant. He was hoping to work 2 more years before retiring. Now he says he's taking it one day at a time.
It was awesome for many, many years. It's not the same anymore with the new management now. It's like it is what it is now, and then you know what? One day at a time. And whatever happens, happens.
Union leaders say Thursday's job action when they blocked 6 transports from accessing the factory carrying tools and materials for Martin Ria marked a turning point.
Our spirits are uplifted now. We feel very good that we're going to come to some type of agreement or closure agreement.
Late Thursday, the union let the trucks in so Martin Ria could remove their tools from the facility, and replacement workers from Futura were being sent back. After 202 days, leadership says the focus has shifted.
Now we're not looking back anymore. We're more looking forward.
There are 27 workers still locked out. The union says it's hopeful they can be absorbed into other Unifor represented plants, pointing to new openings tied to the third shift at Stellantis. The company has previously said it is not stamping parts at the facility. It did not respond to CTV News' request for comment all week. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
In other labor news, the closure of the Diageo factory in Amherstburg this week was one of the first things that came up during a scrum today in Queen's Park.
Ford had the gall to come out and say, that was the best deal I could have gotten for those workers. Well, I beg to differ, and so do they. What I'm hearing from those workers is that they feel they wasted their votes last year in voting Conservative. Their MPP.
Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles was holding a news conference to mark the 1-year anniversary of Doug Ford's election victory. Stiles told the media Ford's $23 million deal with Diageo doesn't directly help the people who lost their jobs this week. Meantime, in his 1-year anniversary scrum, interim Liberal leader John Fraser remains critical of Doug Ford for calling an election last year in the first place. Fraser says Ford took advantage of the threat from Donald Trump.
At the height of a time of great instability, where people were afraid of what was happening because of Donald Trump, he's a great foil. Did he talk about health care during that election? Did he talk about schools? Right? Did he talk about getting jobs for young people? No, he talked about Donald Trump, and he spent most of his time down there talking to American television.
A Windsor jury is now deliberating the fate of 2 men from Leamington. 26-year-old Silbert Karen and 23-year-old Ezekiel Thompson are facing assault and firearm offenses for a shooting of a Detroit man in May of 2023. The group of men were involved in a fight before the American was shot in the foot, but he survived. The Crown used surveillance video of the fight and shooting to show who the alleged suspects were, along with eyewitness evidence. The defense lawyers say, however, none of that evidence could prove beyond a reasonable doubt the guilty parties. The jury is now sequestered until they reach a unanimous verdict. Let's take a break now. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining us for a first look at the weather with flurries, Gary, in the forecast.
You're right about that. Good evening, Stefanie. Good evening, folks. A beautiful day today, warmer than seasonal and then some in terms of temperatures, but we're looking at much colder air for the weekend, beginning with Saturday. We thought we'd hold on to some of that warmth for Saturday. It doesn't look that way. Colder air coming before it's time, so to speak. 12 degrees right now. South-southwesterly winds, quite gusty, but note the area of low pressure. You can make it moving across northwestern Ontario, sweeping some showers and snow across the Lake Superior shores. That cold front will send temperatures plummeting, and there's a chance of seeing some flurries early Sunday morning pre-dawn. We could see some rain Saturday night, and temperatures will be around the freezing mark, if not slightly below, for both days in terms of daytime highs. We'll warm up next week. I'll break down the complete weather story just ahead. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
There's a growing number of auto insurance companies offering discounted rates if you give permission for them to track your driving habits. But a research team at the University of Windsor warns your personal information may be at risk. For some, tracking where you drive, the route, the time of day, your speed, and how much pressure you use to brake determines how much auto insurance you pay. Upon signing a contract with a provider, clients are directed to install an app on their phone that tracks drivers' habits in real time and provides an overall score to the company. That score determines how much you pay.
We must ensure and keep our personal data secret, and it's not good, as you know, to everyone know your data or know your location, know your type of your vehicle or something like that.
But researchers at the University of Windsor say that's not always the case.
One of the most dangerous one is the targeted theft.
This international PhD student and lead researcher says companies may sell your data to a third party, which means they have data on the car you drive, your daily commute to and from work, or even, for example, when you are out of the country, leaving your house vulnerable to theft. Thanks to a grant from the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada, the team has developed an encryption system that acts as a firewall between the insurance company and the driver. So the company will receive the driver's overall driving score, but will not be able to access when, where, and how you drive.
In this case, no data will be released to the company. They can get their score, but without any raw information.
It's a project they hope the government will one day make mandatory to protect our privacy.
All this information can be kept safe and secure.
Now this raises our question of the day. Would you let yourself be tracked to save money on car insurance? Go to your website to cast our vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked who should clean up after dogs on municipal property. Near consensus on this one of more than 700 votes, 97% say it should be the dog owner's responsibility. And if you'll be taking your car for a spin through the city anytime soon, you will want to note a 3-month-long closure on Erie Street West starting next week. Find all the details at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Another major donation is helping push Windsor's new hospital project closer to the finish line. The Chinese community of Windsor, Essex has pledged to raise $500,000 over the next 5 years for the new fancy family hospital. The money will go towards medical equipment and technology at the future acute care facility. Foundation officials say it's the first community group to formalize a fundraising commitment with a multi-purpose education room said to be named in recognition. Local organizers have been supporting the hospital project for years, with fundraising dating back to 2017. Canada has named its flag bearers for the Paralympic Games, with the opening games set for a week from today, and one of them is a familiar face in Windsor, Essex. Para-hockey captain Tyler McGregor, who lives in our area now but hails from Forest, Ontario, will join para-Nordic skiing star Natalie Wilkie to carry the colors. McGregor is heading into his 4th Paralympic Winter Games, holding 2 silver medals and 1 bronze. Wilkie, meanwhile, has 7 medals over 2 games, making her one of the world's most successful para-Nordic skiers. The opening ceremonies in Italy are set for March 6th. A Windsor musician who spent decades playing across Essex County is back in the spotlight after a chance encounter put his talent in front of a whole new audience. Now his story is striking a chord online. CTV's Sanjay Maru has the details.
When the money coming heavy, best believe I split it up. Give it to my brother's family, the ones that rockin' with me since the day I started. Since the day I started rocking, since the day I started spitting, since the day.
This is Freestyle Fridays, a social media production that turns different parts of Windsor into a musical backdrop. Local rappers stepping up to the mic for a chance to share their music online. But late last week, as a Freestyle Fridays video was being filmed in front of the Windsor Water Tower, a neighbor nearby took notice.
It looked like a crime scene of sorts. I thought something had happened. So being inquisitive, I went out and asked the young fella, I said, what's going on? He said, well, we're shooting a rap video. And so we got to talking. I said, well, yeah, I used to play around the city.
In fact, he was a member of a traveling band called 8 Guys Named Mo from the late 1970s to the early 2000s. And other than at his local church, he had not performed publicly in years. That is until later that night when Freestyle Fridays let him step up to the mic.
I wanted to give him a platform, help him get his name out, and hopefully all together we can, fund his dreams.
Music enthusiast Sam Costin says when he moved to Windsor in 2018, he fell in love with both the city and its local talent. So he combined his passion for music with a platform designed to give emerging artists a free space to perform.
I'd like to build it to something where it really means something to be on the channel, and a career can really form out of this page.
We all have pain. We all have sorrow.
As for Bishop, who now spends much of his time in his art studio, the 74-year-old says the video is not about whether this leads to anything more, but rather a reminder to keep pursuing what you love.
If you have a passion in your life, don't give up on it. Get back into it. And you'd be surprised how it'll make you feel and how it'll make other people feel. It's a good thing.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Hey, I really respect that. Yeah. This is my daughter. We're okay.
Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, a simple coffee run turns into a police investigation. Why this photo of a father and daughter set off alarm bells. A new recommendation targeting toddlers. Why doctors say some kids should now be tested for cholesterol. And Monday, the road to the Paralympics starts right here at home. Get to know the 4 athletes from southwestern Ontario. That's starting Monday at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. A recent stop at a coffee shop ended with police trying to track down a father and a daughter in Guelph. As CTV's Spencer Turcock tells us, it was all the result of a mistake by a bystander who was just trying to do the right thing.
A father and daughter stopping by a Guelph coffee shop. Quite normal for Jonathan Puddle and his daughter, Emmy.
We said, hey, do you want to go grab a coffee? So we came here and stood there and perused the menu.
Little did they know tens of thousands of people would soon see their faces. A security camera photo of the two was shared widely by Guelph police, asking for the public's help to locate and speak with them.
So we sat down just over there and ate our snacks and chatted about nonsense, and then we went out and got in the van, thinking nothing of it.
As they pulled out, there was a knock on the van window. It was a young man and his girlfriend who Jonathan recognized from inside the coffee shop.
He said, can you explain how you're related to her? And so I said, yeah, this is my daughter.
And I was kind of like looking at her to see if she would give me anything.
She didn't really help much because she just kind of clammed up and didn't really say anything to him.
I had no idea what they were talking about. I did not hear a single thing.
Jonathan soon realized the young man was just showing concern for his daughter's well-being.
I said, hey, I really respect that. Yeah. This is my daughter. We're okay.
Logan says what he overheard between the two inside sounded as though they were unfamiliar to each other. He was worried it could be a case of human trafficking.
And I was still iffy on it, and then that was when I decided to call it in, just to be safe than sorry, because I know it's a serious issue.
The Guelph Police Service took the concerns seriously, too.
We did begin an investigation in an attempt to locate and identify those parties.
We start getting a flurry of text messages 2 days ago and see our photo, and the Guelph Police Service is looking to get in contact with us.
And very quickly, the involved man called the police and offered the clarification in terms of what was happening, which we were satisfied with and found certainly no grounds to continue the investigation any further.
Police are praising the young couple for their awareness of a concerning trend. Thankfully for everyone involved, human trafficking was not at play here.
I mean, it's a huge relief. I was still worried about it even a week after I made the call out.
As a father, Jonathan is just grateful the couple went out of their way to protect his daughter from perceived danger.
If one of my children was missing, I would tear the world apart to find them. And I would hope that every person was vigilant, had their eyes open.
With that important lesson in mind, the father-daughter duo can share a little laugh now that despite how they look in that notorious photo,
it's a super flattering photo.
Everyone involved is indeed safe. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Guelph.
Canada's public libraries have become the front lines in the war against drugs. Open to everyone, drug use and overdoses are running rampant. CTV's Adrian Gobriel reports.
Hamilton, Ontario's Central Library is a modern 6-story complex, a multi-use public space that prides itself on being inclusive. Though delivering on its mission statement is becoming increasingly more difficult.
Ultimately, it's been the drug consumption has been really problematic and really disrupting our ability to be a public library.
Since December, paramedics have been called to Hamilton Central Library 105 times. Security have administered life-saving naloxone on 44 occasions. In the first 5 weeks of this year, there's been a total of 771 incidents involving security.
People consuming drugs in the washrooms, sometimes consuming drugs within the library itself.
The CEO of Hamilton's Public Library had suggested a temporary closure to allow for a reset. A board of directors rejected the idea. In March of last year, 2 libraries in Saskatoon were closed temporarily due to growing safety and overdose concerns.
Library workers aren't first responders. They shouldn't have to deal with medical emergencies.
In May, a library in Thunder Bay had to shut its doors after a staff member was assaulted. Back in Hamilton, there's no clear consensus.
Do you believe that this library should close as they work to get a handle on the issues that are taking place here?
I don't know. It's a hard question. We're hoping to find a solution that keeps the library accessible, that keeps it inclusive.
Last year, the Ontario government closed 10 safe injection sites, including in Hamilton, opening treatment facilities in their place.
I would hope that they can see the impact that their policy decisions have made.
An email from Ontario's Minister of Health's office says, in part, that instead of giving people tools to use illegal drugs, our government is making record investments to help break the tragic cycle of drug addiction. Though for now, librarians thrust onto the front lines say the cycle continues to spin out of control.
With fewer supervised consumption sites, the concern among those we spoke with is that the crisis taking place here and at libraries across the country will only continue to grow without adequate support. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Hamilton, Ontario.
Canada's Border Services Agency is set to cut nearly 350 jobs at its national headquarters in Ottawa, part of the federal government's plan to eliminate 28,000 positions by 2029. Border Services tells CTV News around 700 employees will receive workforce adjustment notices as it implements a 2% budget cut. The Public Service Agency of Canada says more than 400 of its union members received notices last week. They could lose their job. The union says it comes as border operations face increasing pressure. The union adds that cutting staff will weaken Canada's ability to respond to emergency risks and ensure the smooth movement of people and goods. Canada's main stock index closed the week weighed down by losses in the technology and financial sector. In Toronto, the TSX lost 162 points. In New York, the Dow fell 521, the Nasdaq dropped 210. The Canadian dollar is up 1/4 cent to end the week. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $54 an ounce and oil added $181 a barrel. A public inquiry is coming after the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting and new questions about the involvement of artificial intelligence.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. It's a beauty. Thanks to Sebastian Luke for always sending in interesting images. If you've got one, shoot it horizontally for TV purposes, of course. Text it to 10400. We'll talk weekend weather next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
A bright and refreshing day, but Gary, I have a feeling our viewers aren't going to be a huge fan of your forecast.
That is correct. We are looking at a huge temperature profile change in the last 24 hours. It looked like the southerly flow is going to be maintained at least through Saturday, providing temperatures close to 6-7 degrees Celsius. Colder air has advanced over the last 10 to 12 hours, a little ahead of schedule, meaning it will be colder tomorrow, but I think we'll still see a mixture of sun and cloud. Today was a sunny day, proof certainly to point with that video clip of beautiful blue sky. Reached a high, look at this, 12.4 degrees Celsius. Our average high for this time of the year is closer to 3 degrees. Air quality is good. It's in the green zone. The lower the number, the better. 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. The winds are picking up tonight. We'll see gusts in extreme southwestern Ontario at least through to mid-morning tomorrow in the 30 to 50 range, depending on where you are. It will be likely right now through to 10 o'clock in the 40 to 50 range. Temperatures under mostly sunny conditions as we finish up the day through dusk, 12 degrees or 54 Fahrenheit in Windsor, 9 degrees in Chatham, Kent. If we're in the 40s and 50s on the Fahrenheit scale, right, upper single digits or lower double digits, you know it is mild. Wind chill not a factor really for the most part across southwestern Ontario, a little bit more so as we head further east. Colder across the prairies, minus 11 to minus 12 in Brandon towards Winnipeg, minus 13 in Regina. Calgary's certainly nosedive, minus 11 and getting colder tonight. Meanwhile, we are in this warm sliver of southwesterly air that has provided us that warmth. The snow in the colder air, at least for now, stays to the north of us, moving through the Nickel Belt region. There's a slight chance of maybe even some rain showers in the next 24 hours. If we see it, it is very light, and you might not even perceive it. The snowfall tallies, well, computer models suggesting we might get clipped with the next system of cold air moving through this boundary layer of 1 to 2 centimeters. I think it will be a light dusting. We've seen that over the last week or two. Tonight, still mild, 8 degrees through 8 o'clock, mostly cloudy through 10, down to 6, 4 degrees at midnight to start things off. Early Saturday morning, about a 40% chance, and note the winds, gusty, right? Sustained out of the southwest at 30K with gusts in the 50 range tonight into early tomorrow morning. So passing rain showers and a high of 0, not 6 degrees, 0. Minus 2 and flurries on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, minus 1, plus 3, 7. We'll go from fair to showers to fair. And then Thursday, Friday, 8 and 8. Showers and then cloudy. We will rebound. Temperatures up next week. That's a look at your Enercare Siles forecast.
The Canadian Pediatric Society is out with a new recommendation for cholesterol screening in children. CTV's Scott Hurst explains.
Between 2 and 10 years old, that is the new recommended age range for all kids to have cholesterol screening. This is coming from a newly released position statement from the Canadian Pediatric Society. The report details how plaque buildup in the arteries, including cholesterol, begins in childhood and is a key driver of heart disease and stroke. The lead author says about 1 in 300 people have high cholesterol caused by a genetic condition. So universal screening could stop kids from slipping through the cracks and will give doctors the ability to identify the condition and begin treatment, including diet and physical activity.
If we can identify children that have a family risk factor, and particularly if they have familial hypercholesterolemia at a young age, we can help to intervene.
The updated age range is meant to give doctors as many chances as possible to do the blood test through the early years, even though treatment with medication likely won't begin until the age of 8. Treating the condition in childhood, the study points out, can prevent cardiovascular illness from appearing later in life. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
A new McGill study on sleep looks at why some people are night owls while others prefer an early morning and how that health can affect you. CTV's Christine Long has more.
Altogether, I think I slept well.
Last night was a good night.
Sleep. It's important to everyone, and your preferred time to fall asleep and wake up can reveal behaviors.
Definitely not a morning person.
No, I'd become depressed very quickly, that's for sure.
A McGill University study says there are 3 kinds of night owls and 2 kinds of early birds. Lead author Le Jo, a PhD student in McGill's integrated program in neuroscience, says there are high-performing night owls, but
they also face challenges with emotional regulations. They are easier to get angry, and they have more likely to be addictive. So smoking, drinking, as well as substance use.
Underlying issues can impact sleep patterns.
It's because they have depression or anxiety, they can't sleep.
Plus, lifestyle choices play a part for night owls too.
Cardiovascular disease and depression, and they don't like physically activity, so.
Using AI, researchers scoured data from 27,000 adults in the UK Biobank, including brain images, genetic info, and health records to get the full picture. Early birds, on the other hand, have different health issues.
Very stable lifestyles, they don't like higher risk behaviors, and they drink less, they don't smoke. They have healthy profiles.
The other early bird has a similar health profile, but deemed vulnerable to anxiety and depression.
And they also linked to social traumatic experiences, such as sexual assault.
Joe says, think of your sleep profile as a personality trait.
I'm a bit grumpy in the morning, so I would say that I'm definitely a night person.
So I'm a morning person. I do renovations, so I wake up very early, around 4:30 in the morning and wake up, so yeah.
I got up early every morning and didn't find it early.
I'm more a night person.
Joe says understanding your sleep style can help you know what works best for you and guide health professionals on what supports could help you rest, day or night. Christine Long, CTV News.
I did not know I was going to get a second season, but it's all happening. We're writing it now.
Fans rejoice. An update on when the hit show Heated Rivalry might heat things up for a second season. The details still ahead. Premier Doug Ford showed off the new design for a new Ontario Science Centre along Toronto's waterfront yesterday, saying it could be completed within 3 years. CTV's Siobhan Morris reports.
The excitement of a major piece of the redevelopment of Ontario Place kept the Premier up late.
I couldn't sleep last night. This is stunning. This is world class.
Plans are out for a new science centre on Toronto's waterfront, in a new structure along the shoreline and incorporating Ontario Place's iconic pods. $1 billion to design it, build it, and maintain it for 30 years.
So that we're not just putting great exhibits in there, that we're making sure that the building is cared for.
The government's pointed to poor maintenance of the old science centre and a potentially dangerous roof to justify closing it and moving it.
I wouldn't put my kids in there, and as the Premier, I'm not taking a chance.
But after 2 winters of heavy snow, critics aren't buying it.
It wouldn't matter what the state of repair is. He would have gone forward with it.
As impressive as it may look, opposition politicians see this new science centre as a solution in search of a problem.
There is a perfectly good, fit-for-purpose, ideally situated science centre at Don Mills and Eglinton, where it has been for decades.
Where critics argue money should have been spent on repairs.
Terrible location, first of all. And secondly, it's decrepit. It would probably take twice as long, and you got an old dump dumpy building.
The tourism minister says the center's old home didn't make sense to increase traffic.
Compared to being on the most iconic waterfront at the doorstep of the economic engine of the country.
While the new science center is smaller, it makes more efficient use of space, with more permanent exhibition square footage than the old one.
You had to go a long distance between exhibits. I mean, it just didn't make sense for the flow of learning.
The science center fits in with Ontario Place's new parks, trails and beaches, an updated concert venue, plus a controversial parking garage and private spa and water park. The Auditor General found the Science Center move.
They were doing it to divert attention from the money that they're wasting at Ontario Place with this private spa. It's just an insane project.
The transformation of this sun-soaked space will begin in a matter of months. Construction inside the pods and on the mainland where the new Science Center will be begins this spring. The complex is scheduled to open in 2029. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
BC's Premier says that there will be a public inquiry into the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge.
I am committing on the record that we will use any tools available to ensure that all questions are answered about this tragedy.
The call for answers comes amid new information about how the shooter got around a ChatGPT ban. They were initially banned for troubling uploads to the platform, but according to company officials, the shooter then made a second account that was only discovered after the attack. Officials also say this type of activity will now be flagged to police going forward under new safety policies. We now know when the highly awaited second season of the steamy hockey romance Heated Rivalry is set to debut.
We didn't know we were going to sell this show. We didn't know anybody was going to watch it. I had not written a second season. I did not know I was going to get a second season, but it's all happening. We're writing it now. We're getting ready to start shooting this summer, and there will be more Heated Rivalry on your TVs truly as soon as humanly possible.
Heated Rivalry tells the story of the relationship between two star hockey players. The show is adapted from the hit novels by Rachel Reed, and it is produced by Crave. Crave and CTV News are divisions of Bell Media. Season 2 is expected to hit screens in April of 2027.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Join us March the 27th for an unforgettable evening as the Windsor-Essex Chamber of Commerce proudly celebrates 150 years of leadership, advocacy, and community impact. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kate Otterbahn. And Kate, interesting data has come out estimating that Canada won't see population growth this year. Hard to believe.
Yes, this surprising data actually comes from the federal government, and it says that this is mainly due to cuts to temporary resident admissions. Last year, we saw 0% growth rate as well. The population has been going up consistently 1 to 2% between 1972 and 2015, peaking at 3.1% in 2023. The full report is available online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And over at the Windsor-Detroit Tunnel, officers seized some more drugs.
Yes, and that seizure took place on January 16th, seizing what border officials called personal use amounts of drugs. Marijuana and cocaine were seized, but no charges were laid in connection. According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, more than 6,000 pounds of drugs were seized at Michigan ports of entry in the 2025 fiscal year. This and all your local news updates anytime are online. And in our social spotlight tonight, these parents have mastered tricking their kids into going to bed.
How you doing tonight? Is this a real ID? Crazy accurate, I gotta tell you. Where are you headed?
In my bed.
In your bed. Not gonna get out of bed this time, correct?
Okay.
It's club sleep.
I don't have kids personally, but Stefanie, I know you do. And when my little sister was little, though, she would delay bedtime a ton. And I think this is such a good idea to make it fun and hopefully get those little ones into bed, although early training for the club might backfire on them.
I definitely think it might. I think any parent would agree that it's a challenge regardless. My husband and I always trying new strategies. It's a challenge still here and there, but the kids are good for the most part.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll just keep that going until they turn 19 and we have to deal with them actually wanting to go to the clubs. But I'm sure it's going to be earlier than 19. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if our viewers at home want to send us any video, how can they do it?
Yes, you can send us an email at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kate. Still ahead, separated. After a terrible crash, man and man's best friend reunited. Stay with us.
That's my backyard.
I was just going to say, where's that taken? Because there is no snow where I live.
Those are
no snow on the ground where I live.
Dino paw prints in the snow. I got cedars all around me, so it's shaded. Now, in the shade, it's cold enough to keep it there, but in the sunlight, obviously, most of the snow and ice has melted, save for the Detroit River because that's coming downstream. However, tonight we are going to get colder, cold enough that we could still see a projection of 0 - 1 degrees Celsius for our daytime high tomorrow morning. It's windy now. It's getting windier tomorrow morning. Early morning rain passing through, and then flurries with a high of -2. Flurries coming in Sunday morning, pre-dawn. The rest of the day, mixture of sun and cloud. Monday, -1, fair weather. Tuesday, showers, mostly cloudy, +3. And then 7, 8, 9, headed in the right direction, in and out of showers as we look towards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know I promised warmer temperatures on Saturday, but that didn't happen.
It's okay. All of our viewers are disappointed in you. But are the temperatures... Are the temperatures a little too cold to take a dip? Because I know that's happening for
that water's already
some.
Frigid. It's just really cold.
And you know, we have some very daring coworkers that are willing to take the plunge.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, darn it, I had to work tonight.
Yes,
Couldn't do
I
this.
know.
But it is Friday, so that calls for a little bit of fun. We're going to be there tonight as Melanie and Johnny take the plunge to support the Special Olympics. The weather is good for it today, given that it got a little bit warmer, but I bet that water is still going to be cold. Either way, hopefully we'll have a fundraising goal tally to update our viewers tonight at 11.
And I can't wait to see the video. Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. I can't wait. Okay, finally tonight, the story of the terrifying crash, but with a heartwarming ending, we promise. A Nova Scotia man is reunited with his dog who had been missing for 6 months. CTV's Stefanie Cisco has a story.
My boy. My boy.
Matthew Osborne didn't know if he'd ever see his beloved dog Harley again.
He's back home, so that's all that matters. Hopefully many more years to come.
As a truck driver, his dog kept him company while on the road, but on August 12th, they were in a bad crash in New Brunswick.
I basically tried to turn right to get, because I knew the truck went left, so I turned right to get back to the highway. And by that time, I hit the brakes, and the truck went airborne.
This was his truck before, and this was after. Somehow they both survived, but in the chaos, Harley got away.
Poor boy here, he went through the windshield.
Osborne was in hospital for weeks, and Harley was in the wild.
It's been a long road. You know, for the first few weeks, I couldn't even move from the injuries in the hospital. Went from that to a wheelchair, then to a walker, then to a cane. So I had two great parents taking care of me and looking after trying to get my dog.
As summer turned to fall and then winter set in, Harley was still out there.
They had nights up there. It was in the -30s and very cold, but he didn't give up and neither did we.
Exactly 6 months to the day of the crash, Harley was finally found.
You recognize you.
Osborne found out first thing the next morning and rushed to pick up his dog. It's a day he will never forget.
The relief and the worry of it all being over, the stress just dropped.
Harley was taken to the vet and essentially got a clean bill of health. Osborne is beyond grateful to have his best friend home.
Big thanks to everybody that helped, and the firefighters, the ambulance, everybody that helped for me to survive.
While Matthew Osborne still has quite a bit of recovering to do following last summer's crash, he at least now has his dog Harley by his side for support. Stefanie Seco, CTV News, Brookfield, Nova Scotia.
So that crash, as it is, would be traumatizing, but I can't imagine. Imagine if you and Dino were separated, I hate to bring that up, and not knowing if he was alive.
No, it would be devastating because he's my best bud. So I'm amazed that Harley wasn't hurt or killed when you look at that truck, right? It's just incredible.
Yeah, it is an incredible. And as the lead indicated, there is a great story at the end because boy, it was pretty dark there for a minute. But yeah,
it was
a nice, heartwarming story.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Enjoy the weekend.
See you then.